The galley of the Ardent Wake never truly slept. Even in the ship's quiet hours, it still hummed. Soft fans pushed clean air through vents. Water pumps cycled like a slow heartbeat. The gravity ring held everything in place with gentle force. At the end of the counter, one thing stayed warm on purpose. Coffee. Commander MARA VANCE wrapped both hands around her mug. She did not rush. She let the warmth sink into her palms. It was a small comfort in a very large universe. She watched the steam rise, thin curls fading fast, like a signal that said, "I am here. I am awake. I can face the day even if there is no sunrise." Mara looked through the inner window. The hydroponics bay glowed green in the dark. Rows of plants floated in quiet order. Leaves moved slightly as air passed through. It looked like a garden stitched into metal and light. Not earth, but close enough to make her chest ache. Mara had been aboard the Ardent Wake almost a year. She was the only human on this crew. The others came from 9 worlds. Different bodies, different senses, different rules for what felt normal. They were good people, smart, careful, professional, but they still watched Mara like she was a strange new element. Humans were not the strongest species, not the fastest, not the longest lived, not the most efficient. And yet humans kept showing up in hard places. Humans kept building again after failures. Humans kept walking into deep space like it was a promise, not a threat. The crew wanted to understand why, not the science, not the tech. The reason inside the human heart. Mara took a slow sip. Bitter, hot, familiar. A taste like focus, a taste like decision. Then she heard quick footsteps, light and fast. A small body moving with too much energy for a quiet galley. Mara did not look up right away. She already knew that rhythm. KIRO bounced in, full of curiosity. A young VELCEN cub with tawny fur, long twitching ears that never stayed still. Bright indigo eyes that noticed everything. A translator band sat at his neck and pulsed softly. KIRO pointed at the mug like it was evidence. "You are doing it again." Mara smiled. "Good morning to you too." KIRO frowned and lifted one paw. "It is not morning. We are on rotation cycles. There is no sunrise. Therefore, it cannot be morning." Mara kept her tone gentle. "And yet I still call it morning. Humans name things because naming helps us hold them." KIRO stared at the dark liquid. "The dangerous water," he said. Mara corrected him. "Coffee." KIRO tested the word carefully. "Coffee." He leaned closer, suspicious. "You drink this every cycle, sometimes more than once. Yesterday, you drank it 3 times. The medical database calls it a mild toxin." Mara nodded. "It is a stimulant. A small one." KIRO looked shocked, almost offended. "So you drink toxin on purpose?" Mara shrugged. "Humans do many things on purpose. We sing, we paint, we laugh when we are nervous. We cry at stories we already know," KIRO said flatly. "That is also strange." KIRO's ears lowered as he studied the cup. "Why is this important to you?" "It has low nutrition. It has no real value. It is bitter, is hot. It is a toxin." Mara held the mug close again. "It has value. Just not the kind you measure in calories." KIRO sat down, tail curling around his feet. "Then why drink it?" he asked. Mara spoke softly. "Because it is a ritual. Because it is comfort. Because it helps us feel ready. Because it makes the day feel real." KIRO blinked. "Feeling is chemistry, not meaning," Mara replied gently. "Sometimes chemistry and meaning are the same." KIRO went quiet, thinking hard. His ears twitched once, then settled. He was trying to understand, not just argue. Mara looked toward the green glow in hydroponics. "When humans first left Earth, we packed coffee. Even when our ships were small, even when supplies were tight, even when every gram mattered." KIRO leaned forward. "Why bring dangerous water into danger?" Mara answered, "Because space is cold. Because space is dark. Because space is empty. and even the bravest mind can feel alone out here. She lifted the mug a little. Coffee is warm. Coffee smells like home. It reminds us of kitchens and rain, of early mornings with tired eyes, of late nights when we refuse to quit, of hands around a cup while someone says, "I am with you." KIRO's nose twitched. "May I smell it?" he asked. Mara hesitated. VELCEN's senses were sharp, too sharp sometimes. A scent could hit them like a loud sound. She did not want to overwhelm him. "It is strong," she warned, "and it is hot." KIRO stood taller, proud. "I am resilient." Mara smiled. "You are brave, okay?" One sniff. Mara held the mug out slowly. Careful, steady. KIRO leaned in. His nose hovered above the rim. Then KIRO inhaled. KIRO froze. His ears shot straight up. His eyes widened. His whole body locked like he had turned into stone. Mara tightened her grip. "KIRO, are you okay?" KIRO pulled back slowly, as if the air had teeth, as if the smell carried a warning. The translator band blinked fast, searching for words that fit. "It smells like," KIRO whispered. He swallowed. "It smells like burned forest after lightning. It smells like bitter bark and heat, like danger, like fire." KIRO's voice dropped lower, but also like a warm den, like safety, like family, like sleeping close when the world outside is loud. KIRO stared at Mara, shaken. "How can it be both?" Mara answered quietly. "Because humans are both, soft and stubborn, warm and wild, afraid and moving anyway." KIRO breathed again, careful this time. "You drink that and you do not panic." Mara gave a small laugh. "Oh, I panic. I just keep moving anyway. And sometimes I hold a cup like this to remind myself I can." KIRO looked confused. "Then why keep drinking it?" Mara held the mug steady. "Because it reminds me I can choose, even in fear, even in emptiness, even far from home. It reminds me I can make a morning, even without a sun." KIRO's ears lowered slowly. His face changed. Less suspicion, more respect. KIRO whispered. "It smells like endurance." Mara nodded. "That is a good word for it. Endurance is not loud. It is quiet. It is the simple act of showing up again." KIRO looked back at the mug. "Humans take danger and turn it into comfort," Mara replied. "We take small things and give them meaning. We build rituals. We share warmth. We tell stories so the dark feels smaller. We carry tiny fires inside us." KIRO asked suddenly, "Is that why humans keep going? When others stop exploring? When the void is too silent? When the distances are too large?" Mara looked toward the window. "Maybe," she said. "Maybe we are not built for the void, but we learn how to live in it anyway, because we carry home with us. In small ways, in stubborn ways." KIRO stood up, more serious now. "When I return to my homeworld, I will tell them. I will tell them about coffee." Mara smiled. "Please do not call it dangerous water in your report." KIRO's ears flicked like a laugh. "I will call it coffee, and I will say it smells like worlds." KIRO reached the doorway, then stopped. "Mara," he said, "can other species learn this? To give meaning to small things? To carry warmth in simple rituals?" Mara lifted her mug in a small salute. "I think you just did." KIRO bounded away, lighter than before, like he had found a new kind of strength. Mara returned to her cup. It had cooled a little. Still bitter. Still warm enough to hold. Outside, the stars did not care. The void stayed silent. Space stayed cold. But in this small galley, a human held a warm cup. And a cub learned something new. Sometimes small things carry home. Sometimes small things carry courage. Sometimes a simple smell can change a mind forever. Mara took one last sip. And for a moment, universe felt manageable again. Subscribe to Neon Cub Tales for more HFY. Alien first contact stories with big emotions and bigger payoffs. If this coffee moment surprised you, Hit like so more viewers can find this story. Share this video with a friend who can't start a day without coffee. Comment below. What did you think coffee would smell like too, KIRO? And what should Mara show him next? Your support helps Neon Cub Tales grow, and it tells me to make the next story even stronger.